And there was Will Hamill on screen up against Cam Sutcliffe. He created that second goal for the Crows in that second term as we start the second half. And there's a free kick that has been paid, holding free. And it is going to go the way here of Port Adelaide. Atley gives it off to Frederick, who has had a few touches. Pops that up just inside 50. Nice little bit of work, push in the side. Shoal just out-bodied there by Woodcock, who will line up from just outside 50.
Yeah, what we've seen today from Boyd Woodcock is exactly what we expect from him. He's a clever player, he's an opportunist, and that one there, the arm's just extended, so clearly must have been in the side. The umpire said that's A-OK. He was the architect of a goal late in the second quarter, and now he's going to shoot probably 51 metres.
Turns 20 next week. Played in the North Adelaide Premiership in 2018. Just gets held up a fraction. Slight breeze. They might be kicking into this quarter. Ever so slight, but through for one behind. First score for the second half going the way of Port Adelaide as the kick comes out to Mackesy, who's starting to get a little bit more of the football. He goes long, Fogarty on a long lead. He didn't get the mark, but he gets the free kick.
Yeah, the umpire said chopping of the arms there, so kick was out in front, extended. May have been a touch lucky, but needs an ounce of luck. Hadn't seen a lot of it in the first half.
And a good match-up for Piscini as well. A good opportunity for him to line up against a big body. As Hayes and Strawn go up against each other there. Here's Ebert taken down strongly. It was good work. He put the arms up, tried to absorb the pressure. And Davis a little bit slow to his feet there. He looks like he's just favouring that left shoulder a little bit and maybe in a bit of bother. He's coming from the boundary line, so hopefully not too serious. You can see that at the bottom of your screen there. We'll keep an eye on that. He looks to be in a bit of pain as Shoal wheels around on the left boot up towards the half-forward line and out of bounds. It was a strong contest there, Bix, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might have been in the tackle. He tried to take Brad Eve to the ground. We just get a chance maybe for a replay in a second. No, back to the action.
And it's Strawn up against Hayes, about 50 metres out here from Adelaide's goal. They gain a little bit more meterage. It was a scrubby old kick. They come out here only as far as the big fella Strawn. He can almost have a shot from there. He does. And he just hooks it through for one behind. And the margin back to what it was at half-time, 34 points.
Couldn't believe his luck. The ball came back to him. He's still where he was in the ruck contest. And just tugged it left.
And a good mark taken there by Hayes. Gives off the handball to Frederick. Some good running there. And he just pops it short. Tried to get the target.
That's the challenge for Frederick, isn't it? We've seen that he covers the ground so beautifully. The Port Adelaide players like to give it to him, but just the chance to keep it on the deck, or keep it on the body, I should say, as we see Davis there hurt his shoulder in that tackling contest.
I think just the weight coming down as the bodies fell to ground. It was a good, strong effort from Davis. Hopefully nothing too serious. As, again, we've got another good contest here. Ebert just willed himself to that contest, got the ball out. Lovely little bit of work there. I reckon that's Hamill dashing his way through. That was exceptional. Not a bad kick either. Up towards Crocker. Ball stays in. Does it? No. And it was okay there. Lovely little bit of
sideways movement, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
Will Hamill, beautiful left foot kick, and he'd be hoping to put some pressure on and maybe work his way into the side this year.
And here is Keys, who gives off the hands to Jones. Done a couple of nice things today. Lowered the eyes, goes inside 50. Good mark taken. Touched. So Gollant lays a big tackle there on Garner. He didn't like that. Joel Garner. We've spoken about his haircut today. It was a good grab, but unfortunately for him, it hit some hands first. So we get a ball up. Here's Hayes, just plucks it out of the ruck. Gee, that was ambitious stuff. And the umpire, in fact, says you were caught with it.
I'm not sure about that. There is a new rule that there used to be if you grabbed it out of the ruck, that was classed as prior opportunity. Well, that one got that changed. And I'm not sure whether the umpire saw that or whether it was the one after, but it doesn't matter. Ben Crocker doesn't mind. He's got an opportunity, 23 years of age, as you can see there, 26 AFL games. He's won the free kick, and this will be a much-needed goal for Adelaide. Maybe just give him a little bit of momentum.
He was really lively early in this game, and he's now got his first goal of the afternoon. He kicked a couple last week against Melbourne, showed some good signs, and he's that kind of player. If he can kick a goal or two a week, he'll be a very handy addition to this Crows lineup.
Yeah, you made mention earlier in the call, Tommy, about a couple of people he was behind at Collingwood. Here we go, as we have a look at the replay. Hayes took it, take it out of the ruck. I guess he was tackled there. Incorrect disposal was what the umpire would have called there. Didn't handball it, didn't kick it, so done.
But you're right, Crocker behind those, players to Elliott. It was really hard for him to crack in, and he's on the headphones there to the coach straight away. But he's a busy player. He's shown some signs.
Watch Hayes again in the ruck. He's been impressive for Port Adelaide. I know he had a little mistake. That last one cost him a goal. Let's see how he goes here.
He's got a good leap on him now. He comes all the way over, but Strawn did well, just protected the space. And now they hack it off the ground. Drew goes long inside 50. Here's Burgoyne again, looking to get involved. Marshall's there with him. Bends it around. Oh, no. Unfortunately, Worrell took it but didn't take it through. And Patmore kicks the goal. He was a bit like a thief in the night. He just sharked it. Unfortunately for Worrell, just that fumble allowed Patmore in. And he kicks his first goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, just looking at Trent Burgoyne, he's lively and he's been at the base of the pack again. That was Todd Marshall. Pretty good attempt. And then Worrell just overruns it, and Patmore couldn't believe his luck, could he? Fell in his arms, he's 1 metre out and just says, I'll take that, thank you very much. Yeah, just an update on Ben Davis. It was just a knock to the shoulder, so it wasn't a stretching of any ligaments or anything. He's fine and he's looking to come back onto the field.
Oh, that is great news. As much as anything, pre-season, Bix, as you know, having been in the system, is about getting through as unscathed as you possibly can. And so far, no injuries. I've loved Schoenberg a couple of times today. That was excellent. That was really good. Some of the youngsters combining. McHenry with a lovely kick over the top. And this is James Matthews now, who's going to line up from about 30 metres out, almost directly in front.
Well, we called one earlier in the second quarter where Port Adelaide ruck contest to one of the midfielders and then straight down mark and goal. Well, that was equally as good for Adelaide. It was a nice win in the ruck by Strawn. Then it was a chain of handballs until there was a player who was free and able to steady. And you found Matthews now, and let's see if he can get on the scoreboard.
He comes in, kicks on its way, and he's got it. So well done by Matthews. And what an incredible story for this young man. 12 months ago, he's playing for McLaren Vale, then finds himself at Adelaide and impresses so much as we have a look at this play. Almost the play of the game here for Adelaide. Handball, O'Connor, McHenry, over the top to Matthews, perfect.
Yep, very good stuff there. And like you said, for Matthews, we saw what he's capable of in the Samford last year. He's got electrifying speed, kicked a couple of goals that were just breathtaking last year. So he's looking for an opportunity. There is one spot available on Adelaide's list. He's out there training, trying to secure that. So that won't do his chances any harm whatsoever. He also had a nice bit of play earlier today where he burst away from stoppage. So looking to impress.
Well, he's got something, Bix, doesn't he, that not all players have, and that's real, genuine pace. And that makes him so effective as Port Adelaide win it out of the centre here through Drew. They go long. Good mark. Taken deep in defence. That's a beauty. It's Kelly, and he goes short to Mackesy, who's just starting to work off his opponent, which is good to see, getting a bit of the football.
Yeah, it's once again, we're just looking at the styles of play. That's an intercept mark, then it's a couple of short kicks now. It's fourth short kick in a row. So they're just methodically trying to work their way forward, Adelaide.
And that's a really nice mark overhead there from Fogarty. Pressure was coming from Garner, but he got the jukes up and took a nice one overhead there. Fogarty goes long up towards Frampton. Well done there by Grundy. That's the younger brother, Riley Grundy of Brodie, who was playing last night. Fisted the ball out of play with Frampton, and we're about 70 metres out here from Adelaide's goal. 28 points the margin, so they've managed to work it back from 34 at half-time. Umpire throws it back in. He's Strawn up against Marshall and holding the ball, so free kick going the way of Ebert, the veteran, who said that by playing a little bit less last year, it almost reinvigorated him, made him realise how much he loves it. It was the first time since 2009 he hadn't played more than 20 games in a season. He's been so durable as Adelaide, again, work it really well, and here is Davis back on the ground. So they go the full switch. Now the kick through the middle, that's dangerous, and straight to Marshall. So well read there by the power forward. He goes long inside 50. Good mark in front. He's done well today, Hamill. Like the way he's played.
He's a very neat player, isn't he? Looks very compact and composed.
Schoenberg again, bit impressive. Not his best effort there. Straight to Ebert, who plays on, goes to Drew. Just a slight fumble, had enough time to get it again. Goes up inside 50, big pack forms. Williams, who's been impressive. Davis, who want to get around here, does well. Handball's inside, looking for Scholl, doesn't get to him. Williams now to Patmore. Patmore cutting handball, gives it to Cox. Cox around the body, misses. And through for one behind.
Just more of the same, unfortunately, for Adelaide. They cannot get out of their own defensive half, and just saw the last two short kicks they tried to come back through the middle. They turned over, which creates scoring opportunities for Port Adelaide back the other way.
So here is Hartigan. Again, just looking for options, just trying to pick their way through it here. He goes over the top, and good grab there by Schoenberg. He looks to play on quickly now, does so. Up towards Crocker, worked himself to the front, couldn't take the mark. Now potentially a turnover here. A couple of the top-up players combined. Corcoran with the kick forward, but a good mark taken by Kelly. 75 games now, originally overlooked by Collingwood as a father-son. Another 25 games, and 20 years from now, he might be having one at Adelaide. He's been a good player, Jake Kelly, after being rookie listed originally. Here's Drew again, over to Woodcock, did well, tapped it to himself. Hands and knee stuff, great handball. Outstanding to Samblich, who threw it on the right boot, up inside 50, but again, Kelly takes the relieving mark. This is a better switch, looking to get the ball moving. Here's Matthews again, looking to use that pace one way, then the other, back inside. Wonderful kick as well. And getting better as this game goes on is Fogarty to Davis. Davis moves it on quickly, inside 50, and Crocker. Again, end-to-end transition, much, much better from Adelaide.
Yeah, much better switch. The player who they switched it to was able to play on and run, and that was Matthews, and he's been impressive. When he gets it, something happens. Interesting, Fogarty looks like he's playing a fair way up the ground. Most of his possessions are coming up on the wing. Just wonder whether that's just an extra part of their game they're trying to add. Generally, we see him start deep out of the goal square and have an impact when he's there, but just putting some different layers into him. So
already one goal this term for Ben Crocker. This much harder opportunity tucked up against the boundary line. In fact, he's missed the lot. And it's out of bounds on the full. Still like him though, Crocker. He's a busy player.
Yeah, both him and Keys, who they've brought in, they're experienced in the AFL system. They've been around the club for a number of years. They're both really hard running, so their work ethic is excellent. So they'll set great examples also. Fantastic kick there by Lena to Sutcliffe, who made a bit of a mess of it, but he's going to have enough time here to get it to Piscini. That's a good kick. Lowered the eyes to Woodcock, who's also been impressive today. He wants to switch the play. Dangerous kick. Matthews goes in there. Couldn't affect the spoil. Lean it to Grundy, who goes back to Piscini, who comes inboard. And not a great kick, but Frederick read it well. Saw that Marshall was in trouble. Came in to help out. Kick over the top. Is it? No. Jones missed the mark. Now Sutcliffe over the top looking for Buzzer. Doesn't find him. That was good play there by Kelly. Came off his man. Mackesy. Now Kelly's got a real problem. Umpire has a decision to make. He says play on. Cox now over the top. Williams just fumbled when he had to take it one grab, but he's going to get a free kick here now, the power. Yep, the umpire said that's too high as he went down to pick the ball up. Just a couple of Crows players. It's a bit exuberant and just drove him into the ground, and you just have to be a little bit more careful of that when you're inside your defensive 50. So Dylan Williams, pick 23, been impressive, gets a chance to get on the scoreboard. Well, there's been so much buzz about Mitch Georgiades, but this young man as well, showing that he could be a good player very, very quickly. Going for his second, in fact, already kicked the goal today. And he's set a couple up as well too, hasn't he, Bix? He's been very, very good. He's going to kick from just inside 50 on about a 45-degree angle on the left boot. Ball is working back. That's a wonderful finish there from Williams. I was a little bit worried as he ran in. He had a stuttering approach. I reckon he stuttered 4 times off a fairly long run-up. But the end result is all that matters because he kicked it beautifully. And you can just see there, maybe Jake Kelly a little bit lucky not to be paid a free kick for holding the ball. A couple of fumbles there. He dropped it, but then it was Jake Kelly just came in front on and just got that left arm over the shoulder. Yeah, I'm sure Williams would be annoyed that he didn't take that cleanly at the initial attempt, but he has been really clean generally today, and 2 goals. I think he's one that could be in line for another match in the Marsh Cup next week and might see some senior football this year. He's certainly shown some good signs. 3 goals in that internal trial
couple of weeks back at Alberton and another couple here today. As we get set to do it all again. Strawn, big high jump. Managed to get the tap down as well. Followed up with a tackle there on Adelaide. Here go the power though. Hayes, the big fella, to Drew. Gets it over the top. Good kick as well. Here is Farrell. He wants that left boot. Runs around. Works it onto the left. Now goes inside 50 towards the square. Ball gets fisted away and it goes out of play. And we'll get a boundary throw in.
Whilst Adelaide have defended pretty well, they've really lacked that third tall intercept marker. A lot of the spoils have just brought the ball to ground. They haven't been able to stop the play with an intercept mark and then rebound. So that was what I'm sure they were hoping from Fisher Mackesy, but he's just not quite there yet.
Here is Hamill going in after it. Did well in traffic. Paholke lowered the eyes, looks for Crocker, who worked himself to a good spot. He's got time and space. What are his options like going forward? Pretty good. Davis did well, and he gets the free kick for a bit of front-on contact. It was Ellsworthy giving away the free kick there. Now Davis up inside 50, looking for Himmelberg. He's been pretty quiet today, but he did well there, and he dribbles it towards goal. It's either the big fella Himmelberg or maybe Gollant who got the final kick. Doesn't matter, the end result is a goal. A much-needed one for Adelaide, and that margin back to 29 points.
Yeah, good work by the big man. He worked really hard to try and make a contest, and then the kick came in from Davis, as we see now, and it just was able over his head, but he stayed in the contest, and as you can see, he's right on the boundary line. And as we see the modern-day player be able to do, this is almost regulation now, being able to control the ball, bend it back in there, and he did that beautifully, and that'll give him some confidence. Hasn't been in a whole lot of contests today, but that one he did really well. Yeah,
Gollant was right there. I'm not sure if he got the final kick. We'll give it to Himmelberg for now. He created it, but Adelaide now with 3 goals in this third term. Much, much better. The Power have got a couple, and the margin was 34 at halftime, back to 29 points at the moment. We're in the centre again. Here's Paholke trying to break through. He gets away from Ebert, so did it well. Here's Matthews again, who's kicked a goal, tapped it to himself. Picks it up, gets around. Or is he taken high? Yes, he was. In fact, I think both umpires paid it, so the right decision being made there. And Matthews, another opportunity.
Yeah, clearly caught one high because he's going to have to come off with a blood raw. He's got a bit of claret coming out of his nose. It was unfortunate for Port Adelaide because, as we see on the replay here, kept it in front of him, but then he slipped, I think you'll find. And as he slipped, he went down low, and the Port Adelaide player couldn't have foreseen that was going to happen. But clocked him across the nose, but it doesn't matter. Taken high, he comes off. And who's got the ball? Tommy, who's going to have the shot at goal?
Yeah, it's disappointing for the young man, isn't it? It looks like Billy Frampton maybe has got this one. But always annoying, isn't it, as a forward when you've got the footy and then you've got to give it up a shot at goal.
You've earned it.
And the big fella, the former power forward, comes in from right on 50, and that's a wonderful kick. It is a booming kick, Billy Frampton. Just getting a few hoots from the crowd. 3 games for Port Adelaide.
They orchestrated that reasonably well. I'm not sure what sort of kick James Matthews is, but I reckon he would have struggled with the journey. And then Billy Frampton said, "I'll take it," and he kicked it over the fence. You can just see here that left foot just
clipped him,
lost
didn't he?
traction, and he fell down. And so the Port Adelaide player, they're expecting to be sort of taking him probably around the waist and chest, and that just fell high now, and he got him across the nose. So Adelaide, another really good bit of play out of the centre square. So they've tried to link up using a lot of handball out of the centre square. Port Adelaide have been a bit different. They've tried to have one handball and get it in really long and attack the full front of goal. So both methods have been effective for either team.
Yeah, you can see Matthews just getting a bit of work on the sidelines. He was taken just a fraction high by Grundy. Definitely an accident, as you said, just slipping as he went to ground. But the Crows now just back in this contest with a couple of goals. Now Seedsman thumps it inside 50 again. Himmelberg had a clean run at it, couldn't quite take it. Lean it under pressure, gets the handball away. Garner now gives it back to him. Lean it, gets away outside of the right. That's a clever kick. That was really well done. Frederick liked his game, Bix, particularly in this third term. Goes in board. Good mark taken by Marshall. This is really neat play here from the Power. They go up inside 50 looking for Buzzer. Gets a good bounce after it was a pretty poor kick coming inside. And the umpire says holding the ball. And Kyle Hartigan will take the free. Terrible kick though. Straight to Woodcock. He's under some pressure. Well, he did it the hard way, but he ends up doing it really nicely, Hartigan. And now the kick from Kelly to Mackesy is a good one.
Just the experience of Kelly and Hardigan has actually held Adelaide in pretty good stead down there. They've got a lot of young players, but those two old guys have been pretty solid today.
Good opportunity here for Frampton. Might have got a free kick there on another day, but not the case this time around. Ebert tries to get away. Can't do so, and the ball goes out of play. Still wearing the helmet, interestingly, Big, so perhaps more just of a mental side of things, just to feel comfortable again.
Well, in the end, if it gives you confidence to be able to keep your head over the ball and do that, I don't think anyone doubts Brad Ebert's courage. He's just such a wonderful player.
That's great ruck work there by Hayes. Took it out of the ruck and then got the kick away. Here's Butts handballing to Wilson. Wilson now goes to the outer side, looking for Himmelberg. Good play there by Grundy. He's been involved a couple of times. Frederick is there. He doesn't get the football, though. It's Leanett who gives it back to Grundy. Just pushed off the kick, so only goes as far as Wilson. Not a great handball. Might work out okay, though. Keys picks it up, does it well. Paholke goes back into traffic. He's got a problem now. That'll be holding the ball.
Just didn't have a feeling of what was going on around him. He stepped around one player, but there were two other Port Adelaide players just waiting for him there. So Adelaide just had some free players as well. They just needed to be able to clear that little passage, and they would have been out into attack.
Leanett's a good player, I think, Biggs. He's a lovely user of the footy.
I thought he was unlucky to be out of the side late last year in the back half, but looks in pretty good nick.
And Farrell now goes up inside 50. Kelly drops the mark, but gets it off to Butts, and now they get it away to Scholl, who gives it to Seedsman. He might get it back here. No. Seedsman instead goes longer up towards Himmelberg. Ball pitches just inside the boundary line and goes out of play. Centre wing out of side. We're approaching the dying stages of this third term. 25-minute quarters here today at Thebarton, and it's 23 points the margin in favour of Port Adelaide. So umpire now tosses it back in. It's drawn in there again. Ooh, slung off the football there was Keys. Garner goes in. Ebert's there as well. Schoenberg there for the Crows. Still going after it there is Ebert. His handball was chopped off by Wilson, did well, gave it back to Butts. Butts now high, up and under, going after it. Gollant, that was a good run at the footy. Didn't quite take the mark, and now a big tackle laid by Himmelberg on Sutcliffe. And we're on the half-forward flank here. The Crows into attack, trailing by 23 points.
Been a better quarter for Adelaide. Actually been on the scoreboard and moved the ball better than what they have in the first half. So, yeah, I think they'd be reasonably happy with the improvement they've made.
Good tackle there by Trent Burgoyne, affects the turnover. Now Leanett wanted to come in board, then thought better of it. Kick didn't go 15 there, so umpire calls play on. Crows have got the numbers here, but a bit of shepherding off the ball. In fact, it's going Adelaide's way.
Yeah, he said it was too high, as he was actually shepherding, but the Port Adelaide player infringed by putting his arm over Cole Hardigan's shoulder.
Here is Worrell, who just stubbed his toe there a little bit, and now Crocker couldn't take it cleanly. They've got some pressure here now, Adelaide. They'll probably take that result in the end. Chance to set up again.
Frankie Worrell just kicked the dirt there.
What a great year he had for the Melbourne Stars. He just fell short. Daniel Worrell. As Hayes and the big fella Strawn go at it again. Here's Schoenberg. Busy player.
He's looked all right, hasn't he?
He has.
He's industrious.
Got a good body too.
Yep, he's... I'm sure he's going to fill out as the years go on, but he's got himself in some good positions, particularly around stoppage, and yeah, has a good way of finding the footy.
Umpire now tosses it back in. Hayes again takes it out of the ruck. He's got confidence, doesn't he, Bix? It's good to see. They turn it over here, though. Good attack on the footy there by Worrell. Handball out is okay. Quick kick away there by Paholke. Drew's in after it, going for the footy there. And pretty good contest there by O'Connor as well. Just helps see it out of play, and we'll get another boundary throw in. Less than a minute to go.
Yeah, it's pretty even, isn't it? The last 4 or 5 minutes was sort of bounced between both teams' 50-metre lines. No real ascendancy either way.
So umpire tosses it back in. Time, if they're good enough, they're going to have to be clean. Mays just hooks one around the body. Goes past Hardigan. Now Buzzer. He can get onto it. Get away from Scholl. Scholl did okay. Gave it to Burgoyne. Burgoyne now just puts it into the hot spot. Wilson, really good footwork. That was clever. Great composure. Lowers the eyes. Finds Paholke. They've got 10 seconds left if they're good enough here, Adelaide. They go for Gollant, brilliant. Gives it to Schoenberg. He wants some options. He lowers the eyes and he finds Fogarty, and he should have a shot after the three-quarter time siren. That was great transition there by the Crows.
It was set up by Patrick Wilson. It was absolutely fantastic. The composure to win the ball and then find that free player. He steadied and went straight up the middle, and that really opened the ground up. And I love Darcy Fogarty. He took the mark, and there were players streaming towards goal, but he was every bit the forward. He just tucked the ball under the arm and walked back as if to say, this is what I'm paid for, and he's going to shoot after the siren from about 53 metres.
And distance shouldn't be a problem. Expect this to go post high. He gets pretty close to the man on the mark, and that is why he said, I'll take the kick, boys. That's what he gets paid to do. And that's a wonderful finish and a good quarter there for Adelaide. His second goal. And the margin at three-quarter time is 17 points. That was the play there by Wilson, the kick that released them.
Yeah, that kick was fantastic. Baholke, this one just missed, but what we do like is the way that Schoenberg summed it up. He looked at the handball for a start and then thought, nah, it's not on, I'll lower my eyes. And the big presence of Darcy Fogarty came towards him and he said, here you go, Darcy, have a shot. And he didn't let him down, and that was a really good quarter by Adelaide. Started the quarter with 2 goals 6, so what that ended up with 5-1 for the quarter. Port Adelaide kicked 2 goals 2.
Yeah, so a great quarter there by the Crows. They've cut the margin in half. It was 34 at half-time. Back to 17. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the fourth quarter very shortly here from Theberton.